So I'm responding to the claim that somehow atheism is a better way to approach life and reality that discovers more science than theism, and I believe the opposite is actually true. And in the last video, I was presenting historical figures, and I only presented a couple, but I just want to list other ones, and I have something else that's really powerful from today, in science today. Galileo, Newton, Boyle, Euler, Faraday, Maxwell, Mendel, Compton, Riemann, Gibbs, Dalton, Gauss, Carver, Thomson, Pascal, Heisenberg, Babbage, Thomson, which we call Lord Kelvin. The list goes on and on. Even Einstein himself renounced atheism. Do not call me an atheist. Maybe he wasn't a Christian in a formal sense, but man, the guy definitely believed in God. So theism, the history, evidence of history is that all of these amazing scientists of the past tended to look at life, look at reality with an eye to spiritual things. The poster that I used for this YouTube channel is from Nikola Tesla, another believer who said the day that science turns its lens, we need to stop the lie that science somehow should not be looking at invisible or unphysical like things. The day that science turns its eyes to the non-physical realm, they will discover more in a decade than they did the previous centuries of its existence. Nikola Tesla said that. So I just really believe that we're supposed to not put this rigid divide between the physical and the spiritual, and somehow they don't relate. They very much relate within humanity itself and the history of humanity. And I think another great piece of evidence that supports this argument as well is modern scientists. Look at the Nobel Prize winners of the last century. Between 1901 and 2000, over 65% of Nobel Prize winners in all different fields of science were Christians. And Christians represent about 34 or so percent of the world population. So double the number of percentage of Christians had discovered were Nobel Prize winners. Atheism is about even, and the religious nuns, like maybe a little less than the average in population in the world, are represented among Nobel Prize winners. The Jewish population is the shocking one. Jews represent 0.2% of the world population, but 20% of the Nobel Prize winners. So literally 100 times the representation of believers in a God who's behind all of this are the Nobel Prize winners in the world. 100 times. I think that it's saying something.